So I'm from the small town of fresh off a podcast ass, and you're making me homesick. This is Kevin Brittingham from the Live, Q, or Die podcast. So today, we're pulling Jay off the bench, all right? It's clutch time. We're going to see if he can produce. Talon Sei, our buddy, is here from Stuffing Things and Sunday Gunday. He's got a cool-ass van. My man in COVID went to the lower 48, stayed in every national park. He saw the monolith in Utah. I say aliens. He says local artist. I don't know. Let's figure it out in the next hour. Appreciate you tuning in.
Man, what?
Jay, what's up?
Happy to be back. Took a podcast off. But
I know you were benched last week,
know.
man. What's up with that?
What'd you get benched for?
I was underperforming.
Man.
So you have a one-shot opportunity this week to earn your spot back.
Yeah, I was in a slump. So
You know why you're underperforming?
because I'm drinking fucking seltzer water.
Well, that and you skipped the shot that Kevin and I took.
that could be it too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. He turns a sweet color of strawberry
Yeah.
when he drinks. All right, so Jay, we're here with our buddy Talon Sei.
What's up, guys? Thanks
Hey,
for having me.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
It's always good. You were here a year ago, right when the pandemic kicked off, in your new van, and you started here, and you were about to start your lower 48 voyage.
Yep.
That is incredible. I am so jealous.
Did all 48 now since I saw you last, basically.
Yeah, so you just finished like the other day, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I expedited the whole like Midwest because sorry Midwest, but
Yeah, ain't a lot there.
it ain't that great.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm back here now. I came back through Pennsylvania where I started. It's where I grew up. And now I'm literally full circle back here hanging out with you guys.
I know. It's good, man. You just got in the van, I think, when you were here last time. It's good to have it back in the driveway. You've done a lot of mods to that thing.
Yeah, it's a whole different animal than it was. And it's like parking here feels like home. It's great.
Aw. Well, yeah, it's good to have you. All right. So, Talon, are you familiar, Jay, with Talon's channel?
Just what I've seen on the internet.
What do
But
you
yeah,
call this? YouTube channel? That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
The YouTube
Yeah.
channel.
Got a few.
Yeah. What
was
have you
16
seen?
now.
What's Talon do? Give the pitch for Talon.
You kind of got your hand in a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
That's true.
On the whole stuffing things or whatever.
Yep.
Not stuffing things.
Stuff.
We do
and
that.
Things.
Stuff and things.
So that's why it's the SAT van. It's the stuff and things van.
Yeah, that's a common misconception. People don't know that. So
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm in the know, man.
That's
He's in
awesome.
the know.
Tapped in.
I'm tapped in. I'm staying, current with all this young, social
Yeah.
media, whatnot.
I named my van that, and everyone thinks that it's like a model of van now. So like people like tag
Google
me and shit.
search
They're
it.
like, "Yo, I just saw a Sat van on the highway." I'm like, "No, that's like what I named my van." It's kind of funny.
Yeah, I should have named it like Lorene or something. I don't know.
That thing's sweet. When I pulled in, because I've seen pictures of it and videos and everything, and when I pulled in to the driveway, I was like, "This thing's like a armored personnel carrier."
It looks
It's
different
huge.
than the last time it was here. You got the bumpers on it. You got the winch. You got the
Yep.
rack. You got all the stuff. You did a battery conversion.
It's lifted like almost 3-4 inches higher than it was.
Yeah.
Big old snorkel on the front.
It's not an off-road vehicle, but I'm trying to make it as much of an off-road vehicle as I can. It's 4x4, so it's actually surprisingly pretty capable.
Yeah, everything is with a winch, my friend.
That's true. You can just hook up to a tree and hopefully pull yourself out.
Yeah. What about, okay, Jay, back to you. You're not getting out of this.
Here I am.
All right. So what's Talon's channel all about?
Well, so I think you've split into a couple channels now, but initially I saw you doing some like EDC stuff, and not even just like the guns, knives aspect, but just everyday things that you carry.
Mm-hmm.
Electric skateboards. I think I saw some skiing on there.
Yep.
And then you were doing little guns here and there too.
Let me tell you what. My man's a professional skier over here. What are those called? Ski boards?
Ski boards, yeah.
All right.
Ski
See those
boards.
tattoos on his arms? Those are the graphics on his skis
Yeah.
for different years.
Got 'em
He has
tattooed
his
right here.
own skis with his own graphic and his name on it. That's pretty high.
I just strapped skis on for the first time last year.
You should not do it at your age.
I'm mint. I play hockey. It's the same thing.
Oh yeah,
sorta,
sure.
Kinda, not
Okay,
really.
yeah.
At
I used
his
to run
age?
track in high
How
school.
old are you?
25.
Oh. I'm older than that.
Yeah. Yeah. So so those little ski board things.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if I've seen a ski board.
Ski boarding, like, real quick story. Ski boarding was a thing before freestyle skiing was. So it had a professional circuit in the X Games. Like big companies like Line used to make them. And then Solomon made snow blades, which are like crappy foam knockoffs, and it completely destroyed the market. The pro circuit and all the big companies fell off, and then they switched to making symmetrical twin tip skis. So that's what's obviously still in the X Games today. It's like a dead sport, but me and my friends are keeping it alive. So that's pretty much it.
I don't know. I mean, I'd still do it as long as I got my own like pro skis every year with my own graphic.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I've been riding ski boards for like 15 years, and this graphic on my right arm was the first one that I got the entire time. So,
oh, really?
And then this arm, which I haven't even said this yet, but this is going to be the next graphic, which is why I started coloring this arm into. Yeah.
Well, so did you only get your pro model because everyone else retired? Like you're the only dude left.
It's technically not even a pro model. Like the few pros that still ride with, like I'm best friends with them, they designed their own board. Like it would be like designing your own gun basically from scratch. I just got the graphic of a board that I ride. So
it sounds like pro to me.
It's kind of
pro enough for me.
I'm saying you're a pro ski. I mean, what's the International Ski Board Committee gonna find me? You're a pro.
I make videos for the company that I ride for, so like I'm one of the only people making videos actively today.
What company is that?
It's called Revel 8 Ski Boards.
I'm subscribing.
Yeah,
follow.
That's pretty cool. I've seen some of the videos you and your buddies, so maybe we'll post something up now. But
they do terrible on my channel. Like I've been making ski board videos forever on another channel, which no one even knows about, and I obviously started doing it on my main channel, and they do terribly. Like,
really?
Yeah. I've been posting. I might have posted like 10 ski board videos this past season, or that we're still in. And like I posted one Thursday, and it got like 7,000 views.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and like
because you've gotten like hundreds of thousands, right? On some of your videos.
My main channel just passed 500,000 subscribers, and obviously not all that is active. But if you're into like skateboarding and stuff, you kind of like watching all of that extreme sport stuff. So like you're into BMX, and like it's just entertaining to watch. And I would think that my audience would like that shit, and they fucking don't. They don't watch it at all, which is weird.
That's pretty good. Well, 7,000. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, what's average for you?
I mean, it's been low around like Christmas and like
let's
New
say
Year time.
The last 12 months or whatever.
I'd say average in like the first month that a video's up, maybe like 30 to 40,000 is like average. And then
for the first month.
Yeah, it dips above and below. Life cycle of a video, I have no idea.
Okay, well, let me ask you this: videos of the Honey Badger mini fix or with me, how many did you get?
Oh, those get a lot. Because
I'm the boss.
Before the podcast, like I'm so glad you're doing this now, because before this, especially in video form now, like there wasn't a whole lot of just hanging out with Kevin. And you're such a cool dude. Not just saying this because I'm on your podcast, but like
my man's wanting a gun.
So many people were like, dude, Kevin's awesome. Like, why is this the first time that I'm seeing this? Because we did that mini fix video, which I posted a year ago.
Yeah.
The Honey Badger video we did the next day, and I didn't post that until like a month or two ago. I was just sitting on the video, kind of waiting to post it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, people love that video.
They do well.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Yeah, I think the Honey Badger in general, but for the mini fix to do well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, anybody that posts a Honey Badger video, it seems to do pretty well.
Yeah.
It's crazy how just the name, the Honey Badger, how long it's just kept up. Like you don't see it. Obviously, it's going to go up more because there's an active Honey Badger in production, but like just from when the first time I heard about it in like Call of Duty or something back in the day, and it's just hung on for this entire time.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you just get lucky. It doesn't get too lame too quick because, I mean, it's 10 or 12 years old now. Did we ever tell the story on the podcast why it's called the Honey Badger?
I don't know. I don't think so, because we've talked about it off camera, but I don't think so.
We did. I mean, we did in the last video that I posted of it.
Oh, we did on your channel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we did. I know you said you had them laid out on the floor. You can go for it.
Yeah, I don't know. Does it make sense, or should we just move on?
Yeah, why not? We just brought it up.
Yeah,
so brief synopsis.
The military named it a different name, an acronym for something else. And I could never remember all the acronyms of the stuff we were working on with the military. And so I would give everything nicknames. And this, just because the way it looked the first time I saw it, the engineers show it to me because I was out of town when they'd asked me about doing clear anodized. I was like, I don't know. And they said, well, the guys are going to paint the guns anyway because it was for special operations. And I said, well, okay, well, do the first ones. Let me see how it looks. And I went out of town. When I came back, they had them together. And they have the gun. It's like sitting on the floor when I walked into engineering. But they're like, oh, my God, watch this video. And it's viral because I think it's got like 100 million views or something. Yeah. The Honey Badger Don't Give a Shit video with like the gay guy narrating it. And he is so freaking hilarious. It's the greatest video. I watch it like 5 times a year still. I just giggle and laugh.
You got to be friends with that guy.
I know. We need to get him. I know Ivana, she's like, found the guy and it's like, we have to get him. You need to get him. She's like, you're a total idiot. Why would you not have him narrate a Honey Badger video for you?
You just get him on the podcast and like find out what his story is. Because I mean, maybe it was just like a one-off thing. He just like narrated that shit.
He's obviously a funny guy.
Yeah, he's got to be.
But that would be cool. So I just nicknamed it the Honey Badger because I just saw the video and they show me the gun and it's all that, sort of gold honey color. And that's how it came to be. And it was never the official name until we started Q. And that's what it's named now.
Now it's still there.
But it's interesting. That was probably like my first exposure to like a viral video on YouTube. Like I never watched that stuff. And the engineers are all like 10 years younger than me. And they're the ones that they like played movies or videos which they still do today. Yeah. Ethan and all those guys in engineering while they work. Like they watched the other day, I was in there for like 3 days in a row. They're watching Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
You walk in, they're ignoring it, and all of a sudden they'll all giggle at once, like while they're working. And then
why can't we get back to Blazing Saddles, like jokes and stuff?
You would go to prison for making that.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Good,
though, man. Those, like, obviously, I didn't see the video until I was probably like, I don't know, or the movie, I should say, until I was 21 or something like that.
Really?
And I didn't realize stuff like that existed because that was from what, the 70s? Or is it not that old?
I feel like it's 70s.
Yeah, it's late 70s, early 80s. I don't know.
Dude,
we'll pop it up now.
You can't get away with 2 minutes of a movie like that today at all. It's just
the guy.
sad.
I mean, Gene Wilder's funny, and I don't even know the other guy in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is so freaking funny. I saw him in several things. He is so great. And they were just a great combination together.
Was he an actor or did he do stand-up too? He reminds me of someone who would do stand-up.
I've not seen a stand-up, but he was in several movies.
Okay.
And he's freaking hilarious.
It's not Richard Pryor, is it?
No.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Also,
I haven't seen. Yeah,
look at you, a New England white stereotype right there.
Right, yeah.
It is not Richard Pryor. That is a different man.
Well, I haven't seen it since I was probably
Jesus,
probably too young to see it, but
yeah, like 3 years ago. All right. Well, what?
Nothing.
You don't like my jokes?
No, I just saw Tommy laughing, so I wanted to.
Tommy likes when I give you the shit. It's good, huh, Tom?
Yeah, we've been putting this off. I mean, I got here last night and we like didn't really talk about the trip a whole lot for good reason.
Yeah, I didn't want to ask you questions ahead of time. Let's let it be authentic.
Okay. What do you want to know?
Okay. Well, I mean, it's insane, and I think it's like so many people's dream, and I applaud you. It's so smart before you have a family or like commitments like that to take the opportunity, because you had planned a trip to go to every state in your van pre-COVID, and COVID kicks off. I actually came home from a hunting trip early because I was afraid I was going to get locked in the airport there and not be able to travel. And you met me here basically, and you hung out for like a week, and then you left, went home, and then started your trip. So, but you had it planned ahead of time. So with your vlog, that's the proper term, right? You were going to vlog this trip across the United States in your van, and then you decided to do it during COVID, which was fucking awesome. And you went to all the 48 states, went to all these national parks. You did all these things, and I know you and I would talk throughout the trip periodically, and like you would get to some of the national parks and you're the only person there.
Yeah.
How cool. Like I always like dream about, what if there's like Armageddon and I'm the only person around? Like, what are the things I would do? And like, you got to kind of live part of that.
Yeah. Like the whole trip was kind of hit or miss. And if it was a miss, it was a real big miss because I missed out on a lot of stuff because of COVID. So
yeah. What's an example?
Well, I'll backtrack even more than that. So I started the trip like, I think it was late February, early March last year. I came up here and I did a big loop around the Northeast, and I ended up here. Yep. And that's when things got real bad, I guess you want to say.
Yeah, everything was shutting down.
We didn't really know. didn't really know what was going on. Like I remember going out to eat and we're like, we got big bottles of hand sanitizer and shit, and we're like, I don't know, I guess we should squirt this all over our bodies and like,
Yeah.
So then I was like, all right, dude, I guess I got to go back and like hang out at my family's place for a little. So I went back to Pennsylvania for like a month or two, and I was like, just kind of in the dumps. I'm like, man, this sucks.
And he called me. He's like, you think I can kick it? And I was like, yes, you can.
Go on then.
So I was like, man, maybe I should just push this off until next year, like once things open up again and blah, blah, blah. Luckily, I didn't do that because obviously things have not gotten pretty much any better. There's still mask mandates and a lot of shit's closed.
If I were staying with my family, I would have made the same decision.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm
dude, I
getting
was
out of here. I'll risk it with COVID.
Yeah, I was just going insane. So I was like, all right, I'm going to leave. So yeah, I left, and I didn't really have a whole lot of plans. I just kind of went with the flow. I was like, all right, well, this is close. I'm going to stop there. This national park is close. I'm going to go there. And a lot of the places, I mean, like when I was up in Maine, I was up in, is it Bar Harbor?
Yeah.
Super cool town, and it was completely closed. And that was even after it was either after or before I left.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Acadia and Bar Harbor are such beautiful places up here.
So there's stuff like that where it's like, damn, like I'm definitely missing out on this. But then I go to places like, man, there's so many places I've been, but I'll just say like Canyonlands as an example. I go there and it's like obviously super desolate in the middle of the Utah desert, but like you're the only person there, and there's a lot of hiking and stuff that you can do. You don't pass a single person on trails. So
you went hiking a lot by yourself and stuff?
Yeah, I hiked some stuff in New Hampshire, actually, a little bit north of here.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. When there's no one there and you're by yourself hiking, you carry a gun?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too.
I honestly don't like carrying a gun hiking because I carry like appendix and waistband normally. I don't like open carry. I just don't. I'm just like not that kind of guy. But yeah, for the most part, I carry a gun for myself, animals, stuff like that. If I run into some crazy people, which luckily I don't have any like crazy stories like that. I haven't had any like dangerous situations really on the road. But
so that's not your video that went viral with that mountain lion in California backing dude up the road?
No, that was in Utah. That was a friend of mine.
Oh,
actually.
It was? It was? You know that guy?
Yeah, it was.
He should have picked the rock up right away.
So
as soon as he bent over, picked the rock up, things like, fuck it, I'm out.
Shit.
He's got a rock.
He was trying. The reason he couldn't reach down and pick one up
because he had his phone in his hand recording it for the YouTube.
That too. But as he said, as soon as he would reach down to pick up a rock, that it would like lunge at him, which is like what you saw in the video.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
That thing was all
so crazy,
dude. I don't know what I would do in that situation.
No, I would have totally pissed my pants.
I'd way rather see a bear than that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cats terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I don't know.
I mean, but normally, like unless they're charging you, normally a bear is going to either just look at you or take off. But
yeah, that thing was. So what was it? It was a female that had cubs and.
Yeah,
he got close to it accidentally.
Yeah, he was hiking. I think he had like a pocket knife on him, which that ain't gonna do shit because that thing's got fucking.
It's got a bunch of.
Don't let it bite your neck. Stab it in the eyeball. I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know if I saw him. I think I saw him just before that happened because I was in Utah around that time. He works for Blade HQ, the big
for real?
online pocket knife retailer. Yeah, so a lot of dudes.
Of course, he
there.
had a pocket knife.
Yeah, the pocket knife. But
too bad he wasn't working for like Hand Cannon HQ.
Yeah, right.
Machine Gun HQ.
He works for Q and just has a honey badger strapped on his back.
Yeah,
that video was crazy.
I would have lit that thing up. Oh, that'd have been a dead cougar.
Yo, yeah. What I feel like if you were to protect yourself in that situation, like you'd probably get in trouble for that.
Oh yeah,
somehow,
yeah. Some asshole would arrest you.
Like, hey man, this thing's about to kill me. I'm gonna kill it. You like turn the camera to yourself. I'm gonna kill this because it's gonna kill me if I don't.
And Joe Biden be like, you should have shot it in the leg.
Yeah, like
30 years.
You can't have a gun
fired
in that
a
area.
blast into the air and scared it away. Stupid.
That was
Video
horrifyingly,
Didn't it?
terrifically, just terrifying.
Did
it
it
was
come
the
out
scariest.
that it was? I could completely be fabricating this, but that the mountain lion had like it was starving or something like that. Like something went down and it was. I don't know if it was segregated into a certain area, but I read that it was like
Well, he was in between the cubs and and the mother, I think.
Yeah.
I forget because I think the video started with like he saw 2 cubs on the trail. And if I see 2 fucking mountain lion cubs, I'm going the opposite direction.
Yeah,
I don't care if I'm 10 miles in. I'm fucking out of there, dude.
I mean, I would assume it's like a ninja. You would try to leave, turn around, and she's like standing right there.
Looking at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so once
scary.
he grabbed that rock, though, it's like,
Yeah.
Anyway, well, glad that wasn't you.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, glad that dude didn't get.
Yeah, so it's hit or miss. So what was so you do all this, you're sleeping in the van, you're going around, you're doing your vlog.
Mm-hmm.
What was the biggest disappointment? Maybe we'll start with that.
I mean,
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mount Rushmore because like it was a disappointment because I had a free weekend. This was a couple months ago. It might have been in the beginning of February. And I was like, all right, I have some free time. I'm in Denver, Colorado right now. I can just like do a quick weekend trip and come back and like continue doing whatever I'm doing. So I left from Denver, drove straight like 9.5 hours up to Theodore Roosevelt National Park in northwestern North Dakota. And dude, that drive sucks. Like southern Wyoming, it's all like, it's pretty bad. I'm sure you've driven across.
Yeah, I've been all through Wyoming and western Wyoming, of course. You start up north with Yellowstone, Grand Teton, all the way down.
Great,
beautiful. Central Wyoming, there's nothing, and then like northeast Wyoming is beautiful, and the rest of it,
So it's sort of that southern trip of Wyoming, but straight up north. So I went through Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota,
Nebraska. Oh,
yeah, we don't need Nebraska.
It's not great.
I think all of us have done trips across the country, and like there's a good strip of land that we have. We don't need it.
There's a lot of places. Like now that I've been to all the lower 48, I have a good understanding of what we should claim as ours, and then the other shit which we can just cut off.
Yeah,
like East or Western California, just cut that shit off and fucking push it into the ocean because we don't need that. Eastern California, beautiful, great national parks, Death Valley, Yosemite, but yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah.
So as far as like the most disappointing thing was obviously Mount Rushmore then. And it was on a weekend where I had free time. I just made the trip. It was bad weather. And that is why the entire weekend was bad. So I drove all the way up to Theodore Roosevelt National Park. It was a sheet of ice. The van was sliding all over the place.
Well, that'd be fun.
It was, I like driving and stuff like that. 4-wheel drive the entire time. It was cool to see, but like there wasn't much wildlife like there typically is in the spring and summer.
That's pretty exciting.
There's some bison, but so then from there I went straight south to Rushmore, and Black Hills are beautiful. It was great, but it was super foggy, like snowing, kind of disgusting out. And I get to the main parking lot where the viewing deck area is, and the lady at the gate was like, it's typically $10, but you can't even see it today, so you can just go through. I was like, okay, I'll just go look. And I literally took a photo, which I can send you then, and it was just like a fucking cloud. There was like a few people standing on the deck in a cloud. But literally everyone who I asked about Mount Rushmore, like we were talking about it last night, you're like, you're too far away from it. It's
the main observation deck is so far away, and you got to get down and hike and go and think. They should have it to where you're right up against it because it's so big. Like their noses are like 30 feet long or something, and you're so far away. It's just like, well, that's cool, but
that was my question: is it actually that big? Because there are certain things like the.
Oh, you think it's a scam, like another government conspiracy type?
No. I just didn't know because like I was in Utah for a few years when I was stationed out there, and like in Arches. You see the big, is it the Great Arch or Grand Arch, whatever? It's not as big as you think it is. Like you get up to it and you're like, I get it.
I could go climb and stand on top of that. It's
right,
like,
exactly. It's
not that big. You
big.
ever seen the Mona Lisa?
No, I haven't.
You been to the Louvre?
Yes, went to school in Paris for a summer. It's like it's like yay big, maybe like yay big, and it's so funny because you hear about your whole life and you go and there's like a huge crowd around it. And you're like.
Yeah, where is it?
Is that it?
Yeah, so that's the same feeling at Rushmore then. And I didn't even see it, but everyone says that same thing.
You like totally couldn't see it.
I'll show you the photo. It's literally looking into a cloud.
Well, maybe that's not fair. Like I'm glad I went to see it, but
yeah, I mean,
like Devil's Tower.
Yeah.
Better than I expected. Like, there's lots of things I've seen. Grand Canyon. Like, if somebody says I've seen the Grand Canyon in a book, so I don't need to go see it, don't be friends with them.
No, yeah, it's so different.
Incredible.
But if someone says that about Rushmore,
Trust them.
right? Trust them? Okay.
Yeah, Rushmore is... I would love... But, you know, Vaughn and I, we were out in Jackson, Wyoming, and we bought like a vintage Land Cruiser, and we decided to drive it all the way back to New Hampshire. So from like the Idaho border to New Hampshire. So it took like 4 days. But we stopped in South Dakota. We did an elk hunt.
I gave you the spots for that.
Yeah, and so we went to Devil's Tower. Awesome. And great because no one was there, just like you're saying. And we went to Rushmore, and it was a beautiful day. So it was cool, but we were both like, eh. And we didn't take the time to hike up to it. Yeah. But they should have that observation deck because they have like an amphitheater or something between the observation deck and it. And it's like you're like probably a quarter mile away from it. And it just doesn't look impressive.
I was gonna say, did you go through like Navajo Nation at all? Like the big res, the main res?
I probably did, but when you're going through areas like that, it's like, at least from my perspective, it wasn't like marked super heavily.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like when you're out there, you're fucking out there.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just like there's nothing there.
I went through it for the first time in November, and it was just like, holy fuck, this is insane. Like,
oh, you did a motorcycle trip,
right? Yeah, I think we were out west at the same time. You were.
Oh yeah.
I think we're all out there. But
you said Navajo. That's like northwestern Utah or Nevada.
It's the top of New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Yeah.
That's where Shiprock is.
Yes.
Have you seen Shiprock?
I haven't. No, we didn't get to go through. Like I was out there during COVID also, and so like there were a couple things that we wanted to check out. I think we kind of skirted by it, but we didn't stop in Shiprock.
So Shiprock is sort of like Devil's Tower, like formation wise. I don't know anything about it, but I've seen pictures of it, and I'm like, man, that looks fucking cool, and I want to go there. But it's so far out of the way. Like that's like way
it's on the corner,
there.
and there's a couple there's like Farmington and stuff like that around it, and we went through there, but we were kind of fighting weather the whole time, and like, but going through that reservation was just kind of like an eye opener. Like it's crazy out there, just like the circumstances are insane.
What do you mean?
It's just like it was like depressing going through it. I went through and I just.
A lot of those little towns in the Midwest I would go through were depressing.
Yeah. But like it felt different going through it, not to get all hippie shit on everyone, but like it just felt different, and I was like I don't know, it was depressing.
There's the hair and the beanie.
Depressing because of the
circumstances,
Native American oppression, or
yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant like the landscape and everything.
No,
the landscape's dope.
Yeah, the landscape's awesome.
It's really cool.
Because like we went down. I think that it was like Navajo Road 5, and I figured it was just they just named it. It's this normal highway that just named it Navajo Road 5 because it's on the reservation, and there is nothing. And it's like I was worried that we were gonna just not be able to find gas, anything, whatever. But even though there's nothing out there, like you just said, all the rock formations, just like even the fact that it's barren desert, it's still so cool. Especially living in New England my whole life.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like. Definitely doesn't feel like the same country.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like America, and it doesn't even feel like the same planet.
Yeah,
like it's super
really
desolate.
cool.
Did you go to? You didn't go to the Badlands National Park?
No. So to finish that story, the reason I said that Mount Rushmore was like the most depressing, it was like the least favorite place that I went, was because after that trip, I ended up posting the video. And that's something that I typically wouldn't do because it was like the weather was bad. I couldn't show Rushmore. I couldn't even take photos of it. So I was just like, whatever. I'm still going to post it. A lot of people watch van life stuff on YouTube and they want to glorify it.
Oh, man. Since I started looking for one, because, I'm going to buy one like yours.
Yeah.
I started looking for them. It's all that pops up in my feed on Instagram.
And it looks great, but that's not all that it is. So I make it a point to like make sure that I show the bad shit. So I posted the video anyway. I was like, all right, I went to North Dakota, South Dakota. I went to Scottsbluff in Nebraska, like the Panhandle area. And I was like, typically wouldn't post this video because it was boring. I didn't really show anything, but I'm going to post it anyway. This is like the reality of things. It's the only time I could go, whatever. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, radio station, whatever.
It's close by.
They fucking picked up on my YouTube video for some reason. And one of their like morning show dude anchors wrote an article about me, and he's like, "Look at this YouTube influencer." He said that Yeah, he just fucking completely trashed me.
I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, because what else do you fucking report on the news there? Yeah. Nothing happens.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So because I said, "Oh, Mount Rushmore, it ain't that great," he was like, "How dare he say that? The fucking whatever, like national monument of our country is not that great." I'm like, "Come on, dude."
It also isn't like.
If your
Fuck
state,
Mount Rushmore, by the way.
If your state has bad weather 6 months out of the year, I'm sorry to say, but your state sucks.
Yeah.
Like there's other states like Colorado where it's the middle of winter and it's fucking super sunny and 55 degrees and the weather's great. So it's better.
Yeah, there ain't a lot going on in Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
Tracking the old Talon Sei.
If you're from Sioux Falls, I'm sorry. Your state's fine, but you dude fucking dragged me for no reason.
Well, if we care about what they think, they probably
sick,
moved.
That dude's probably stoked on it though. Like all the 12 people that lived there were like, "That was so cool that you did that."
I tweeted at
call
him.
them out.
Yeah,
I tweeted at him. I was like, "Yo,"
I tweeted at him.
say it to my face. I forget what the fuck I said, but
say it to my face. What are you gonna do?
Nothing. I'm never coming back to your fucking state. So whatever.
I will say that I'm sure there's probably terrible moments in the van, but like there were times, we kind of talked about it before we got on here, but like there were times on my trip where I was in a tent and it was 19 degrees and I'd like look out my little zipper thing, my little screen. I'd see at one point there was a woman that was in a van and she had 2 dogs with her and she had her shit so set up. She like put Christmas lights on this cactus in her little like area and all shit. I'm like, fuck, I wish I was doing that.
That's so cool.
It seems awesome.
Yeah. So, well, what was speaking of being out there, what is that freaking monolith thing that was in Utah?
Yeah, that was one of the cooler things I've done. I mean, I guess. Utah and Moab is one of my favorite places to visit. Like,
so dope.
It's, I mean, yeah, you rode your fucking motorcycle through there.
Yeah.
It's so sick. And I did the whole like Western Loop. I went down through Nevada, went to Area 51 and Tickaboo Peak. I went to Vegas and whatever. Did a full loop up through California. And then I was coming back to Colorado and the monolith was popping up in the news. It was like
so what was it? Like I never knew about it until you posted about it. So explain this.
So on my way back down through into Utah, a lot of this stuff was popping up in the news and mad people were sending it to me in DMs and stuff like that. They're like, this alien monolith popped up in the middle of the Utah desert. And I saw photos of it. So these helicopter pilots found this thing when they were surveying bighorn sheep and landed. And it's just this like big metal structure like jutting out from the rocks. And I was like, that's kind of cool. I happened to be in Moab, went on Reddit, found the GPS coordinates to find this place because Reddit finds fucking everything.
Yeah.
I feel like you're on Reddit. Are you on Reddit?
Yeah,
He's on the dark web.
It's like
allegedly
close to the dark web. So I found the GPS coordinates and so did fucking everyone else.
Right.
And by the time I made it out there, it was like 2 or 3 days after news broke, like CNN and all these big news, like mainstream media outlets were picking it up and talking about it. So I took the van, tried to find the best route there. I thought I was going to hike to it. And I hiked like 2.5 miles and it was just like fucking cliffs. I was like, well, this ain't the way. And this is all on video too. So I went back to the van, drove another like 2 hours around through, I think it was like Dead Horse State Park, and came to where.
Oh, geez. So this was like a real.
This was a full day thing, like to find this.
Oh, wow.
And then once I got closer to the GPS coordinates, I started seeing vehicles out in the middle of fucking nowhere. And there were people out there in vehicles that had absolutely no business being out there, like a Mercury Sable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's like, is this the way to the monolith? I'm like, yeah, but you probably shouldn't keep going because you're going to get fucking stuck out here. So parked the van, hiked like 1.5 miles into this place. And in the middle of this like slot canyon, in probably one of the most desolate areas I've been in my entire life, there was this big fucking metal like triangle thing sticking up from the rocks. And I was like intrigued by the alien idea of things. Like it would be cool if some extraterrestrials like stuck this thing in the rock as a beacon or whatever. But it was super clearly like an artist who.
Yeah, that's what it
Went
turned
in.
out to be.
It was.
It turned out to be this like art project, but
Well,
it disappeared right after you
but
were there.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I got some questions.
Go for it.
So, calm down, Jay.
I'm chilling.
So, was there any direct route there? Like, could anyone drive within 100 yards of it?
Not within 100 yards because.
How close could you drive to it once you got there and surveyed the situation?
Probably about as close as I parked. So there was a path,
And that was a mile and a half?
yeah, maybe it wasn't quite that far. You couldn't see it at all from where I parked. So if you were driving like off trail, you
Yeah.
could totally probably drive right up to it if you had like some big lifted Jeep. But you can't drive off trail in that area because it's all like
Do you
BLM
think
land.
someone did?
The people who took it out of there definitely did. So the next night after I was there, I posted the video, just like breaking news. Like I don't do like hot topic shit on my channel very often, but I was like, all right, I gotta fucking post this video. So I posted that, and then it was the night that I posted that video, someone ripped it down. And they definitely had to drive a vehicle in there to get it out because that thing had to be fucking heavy.
Yeah, I mean, how big was this thing? I saw the picture you posted.
Yeah,
So
like
we'll post it up. but-
me standing next to it, it might have been, I don't know, 12 feet tall, and it was a triangle. Originally, I thought it was just like a square.
Yeah,
But it was a triangle, maybe like 2 feet on each side,
that's big.
and it was like actually cut into the slick rock that's out there. So someone took some kind of saw and like made it look like it was recessed into the rock. And then I'm assuming like I was knocking on it. It looked like they kind of like pop riveted it into wood or something, some kind of structure. But
So there were pop rivets in it.
yeah, there were pop rivets, which you can't
Yeah.
really tell from photos.
I'm guessing the aliens probably aren't using pop
No,
rivets.
yeah.
That was the first thing that I said. I'm like, yo, there's no way. Like if it would have been welded, like really clean type
Yeah,
of
it should have
welds.
welded it and polished that
Yeah.
down.
That would've
You
been
could've
more
made that all
convincing.
mirror looking and everything.
Because people climb to the top of it too. Like you would need to stand on someone's shoulders and kind of like push them up.
Yeah.
And on the top of it, they finished the top of it too, which you could never see unless you're in the helicopters, like the guys who found it, or if you climbed it. And yeah, it was cool,
It's
but
a
it
pretty
wasn't
interesting
convincing.
thing for someone to do. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I thought because after that one, another one popped up somewhere else, whatever.
Yeah, like Romania.
Yeah, and then you didn't hear anything about it, and it was a couple episodes ago. I had it in my notes as like just a new news story, but another one popped up somewhere recent. Like it's still happening.
We should do one.
I know, I agree.
Yeah. There's like an artist who claimed that it's like his work, but
So like a Banksy sort of thing.
sort of. And if you look at his actual work, he like sells them kind of, but he has for a while. The problem with the one in Utah is that he's destroying the land there. Like he's
Right.
fucking cutting into this rock.
federal. Yeah, so it would be a felony probably.
Yeah. So
We don't have to cut any rock.
Oh. No,
I think
I'm
you should
not
have-
about them felonies.
you should put one like right here in your front yard.
That'd be cool. So the aliens did it. I don't want motherfuckers pulling up here.
Fucking people taking
I don't-
Instagram photos outside.
Man, I don't even like the
Sick.
people that work here coming here. I ain't doing that.
All
But
right,
yeah,
so
it'd be cool.
I should
Maybe
leave
we do
right
it at
after
Q.
this.
Maybe we do it on the roof of Q.
We don't know. Just showed up.
Yeah, we didn't do shit. Sticking through into our building. What did we do? The aliens must have done it.
The aliens.
You can put it on your next ski board graphic.
I could. So I was talking to my tattoo artist, and he was like, "Should we like fucking stick a monolith in there? Because
It'd
started
be
this
funny.
before that. It'd be funny, but at the same time, it's like,
Monolith looking shit over here. Yeah.
yeah, I don't have room
Oh,
for
cactus.
it though.
Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah, it's cactus. Well,
He's an artist. Let him figure it
yeah,
out.
he could figure it out. He's good.
All right. Well, let me put my glasses back on.
Oh, man.
This means business.
Maybe we'll. I think we should go to the questions right now.
I agree.
Before I get into okay.
Yeah, why not?
I feel like we crossed like one thing off your list. And
We did. So that's why I was going to say speed round, but
All right.
I've got some questions.
Oh,
here.
These are
man.
hard. These are hard questions. So.
All right.
And you got to
So,
stick to them.
Honey Badger MP5 SD.
just posted this on my story before we started the podcast. Honey Badger.
My man.
Sorry.
To who?
MP5 lovers.
Oh.
Like, oh, it looks cooler. You're an idiot.
Honey Badger or Minifix?
You're about to have
for-
both.
For practical applications, I'm gonna say Honey Badger.
Lighting somebody up, the Honey Badger.
Yeah.
Sat van defense weapon. It's the official
My
Q
honey badger has been pretty much everywhere you've ever seen the van in photos and videos.
Allegedly.
I can't confirm that. And yeah, anyway.
Definitely not in federal parks.
Minifix, though, dude, so fun. Cheaper to shoot because you're not shooting as much typically.
Unless you're with Ivana and she sits down and shoots 800 rounds at a time.
Dude, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You got to do something about that.
She earned it.
She deserves it.
She keeps up.
Yeah. For now, I'm going to say honey badger, but Minifix is like my unicorn gun, and we're going to build one tomorrow. I'm fucking so stoked.
It's my favorite gun.
Yeah, love it.
All right. So these are actually going backwards the way that I wrote them all, but
do you want to flip them around?
I don't know. I don't really care. Maybe we'll switch it up in a second. 556 or 300 blackout. So this is the Sammy abbreviated version of how you write 300 blackout.
Yeah, BLK.
There's no dot, and it's capital BLK.
Yeah.
Just saying, Jay.
In today's day and age, I'm going to say 556.
Oh!
Sorry,
man.
Kevin.
My man.
But, dude, 300 black right now is probably, if you can find it, it's like people are selling like, oh, you're 250 a shot. It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I just have a bunch of ammo.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you like to shoot better?
I mean, obviously 300 blackout.
Obviously, why?
Because it's softer shooting, suppresses way better. Out of the honey badger, is this a fucking commercial for Q right now? 1 in 5 twist.
If you want to turn it into one, I'm not going to twist your arm. Speaking of fast twist.
No, great ballistics. Yeah, it's great. No, I would much rather shoot 300 blackout if it was the same price as 556 for sure.
Nice. All right, let's move on because I don't think we can get a better commercial than that. Okay.
AR.
Okay.
I don't even need to see it.
Wow.
That was AR or AK. I'm sorry.
My man.
Yeah. I like 7.62, but ARs are better. Glock, dude.
Thank you.
Hey, you see his Glock sitting in front of me right here?
Yeah.
What's that?
Let's talk about this.
What is this?
We decided Glock. But I got this from you. So this is the TS for Talon Sei, I believe.
You can hold it up. It'll be able to
43X.
Yeah, the TS43X.
That thing. So when you told me you were doing it, and it's like I'm not super into custom guns and all, but I was like, yeah, I want to get one, and I wanted it. I also like wasn't all that excited about it. I fucking love that gun. Number
Thank
one,
you.
your attention to detail and whoever you have doing the work, spectacular.
Danger close armament. They're fucking phenomenal at what they do. They're really
apparently, everything from the slide work to the grip, the stippling, and how you like segregated it, and you have different stippling for different components of the grip. The gray color looks great. That little RMR that you picked on there is badass. It's thin. Like, I generally, being old, wouldn't carry a gun with a dot on it. That I would. And I enjoy just shooting the gun. Like, Vaughn and I go to the range and shoot all the time. And we shoot, like, actually rimfire a lot. But we try to always shoot some 9mm. And that's one of my favorite guns to shoot right now. So tell me what the hell it is.
Well, thanks, man. I approached this company who I've been a customer of for a long time, Danger Close Armament. They're based out of Colorado, like Denver area. And they have been doing stipple work like this by hand for a long time. And
so is that what they got into? Is that their original gig?
It's between two guys. It's Will and David. Will was into like machining, CNC stuff, and they're both gunsmiths. Okay. And then David was doing a lot of like framework. And I found out about them through like Instagram or something. I honestly don't even remember.
How all you young folk meet everyone.
Tapped in.
That's it. That's how you and I became friends, honestly.
Whatever.
You're the young folk too. So I was a customer there. It was a long time ago when they first started their company. I did a video like building my quote unquote like dream pistol at the time. Yeah. So I sourced what I thought my favorite slide was and barrel, and their framework was at like the top of my list. Put this gun together, did a real quick video of it on my YouTube channel. Yeah. I didn't even shoot it much. I just kind of stood in front of the camera and was like, here's this gun that I put together. It's kind of cool. And it got 8.5 million views.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's the most viewed video that I ever made.
Thomas, we got to get those views, man.
I wish it just worked like that. So after that, I became friends with them. They were like, dude.
Yeah, I'd be reaching out to you too. 8.5 million. That's a bunch.
Yeah. They're like, dude, our phone's ringing off the hooks. Like, let us build you a gun. I was like, cool. So they built me a gun, did a video on that. It did really well. And then so on and so forth. I had a bunch of guns from them. I hadn't met any of them in person because one of them was in Colorado, the other one was in Texas, and
I like both those places.
Yeah,
I'd be down
great
with
places.
That. Hippies like you, and then cowboys like me.
Hippies like me?
What?
I'm in a van. That doesn't make me a hippie, does it?
Okay.
So I met Will at SHOT Show, like this might have been 3 years ago now. We planned on meeting up, and I kind of had the idea of like a signature gun where I designed the slide and frame texture.
Yeah, that's what you
everything.
influencers are into right now. And I'm always suspect. So I was suspect of this before I got it.
You were suspect of just my thoughts
it's like,
on it?
what the fuck do you know?
What the fuck do you know, Kevin?
What
do you know?
Turns out you knew more than me about this. I agree.
No, so that's why I was hesitant to do it, because you have all these dudes who are fucking operators, this and that, and they have so much experience with firearms, and obviously the shit that they put together is for a reason, and it's typically really good.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, I shoot a ton of guns. I shoot a lot more than like the average person, and all of my gun videos are framed to be like from an average person's perspective. So once I met him in person, he's super cool. He's young like me. He's like 30 years old. I was like, what do you think about doing a signature gun? Like, if you let me design the slide and the frame texture and everything, and without hesitation, he was like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So about a year and a half later,
because I don't think I would have heard of them had you not done this.
No, me either.
Not that their work is bad. I just I don't know. But now,
there's so many companies that kind of gets lost in the ether. But
the Glock, modifying Glocks is big business
for sure, and they are a small company for sure. I mean, they have like a very small.
That's
group
how
of
you
people.
get that good quality work a lot of times.
Yeah. So we decided to put the gun together. I literally like napkin sketched the slide and everything and the grip texture. And I mean, long story short, it just came out to be my perfect EDC gun, and I fucking love it.
I love it.
Like it
like
too.
No shit. I don't give a fuck if you're here or not. It's the gun I would carry if I were carrying a gun out of the ones I've got.
Awesome, man. I appreciate that.
Sleeping. I'm not sleeping on tacticaldistributors.com, but every time I put on this Fozzie fleece pullover, it feels so good and makes me want to nap. Don't forget, Unpossible 15 gets you a discount. Get the fuck out of here.
Q did that like range day thing at White Birch, and we all kind of swapped guns around at one point, and that one was there. And it is cool. Like I love the 19. I think the 19 is the perfect gun. And I shot that. I'm like, all right, this is pretty cool.
Watch this suck up. It was the perfect gun until that TS-43X came out.
Ooh, appreciate that. I mean, when it comes to carrying a gun, it's like almost single stack. If you're using metal mags from like Shield Arms or whoever, then you're getting the same round count. It's hard to beat that.
Yeah.
You or someone sent me that mag. I don't know who. Someone sent me one of those mags. That thing was so freaking hard to load. I hated it.
Really?
I've heard that too. I've heard that they're hard to load, but I'm not a.
Do you carry one?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Every day.
The mag you carry?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I have no ties with the company, and I'm not going to say their product's good, but I haven't had any issues with them.
No, it might be like reliably good, but for me, it was like.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'll load your mags for you. Don't worry.
They honestly they were rude to me because I reached out to them.
Well, tell them to pull up.
I'm not gonna throw them under the bus, but I that is what I use to carry. I like even swapped out my mag button and everything. So
steel mag. I do think that's the flaw of the Glock mag. They should switch to steel mags. You get so many more rounds in there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like especially this, Glock could have done that themselves, but you're stuck with 10.
I think that's the big mystery. Is everyone's like, why did they do this?
From a selling perspective, though, I mean, we were able to sell this in more states than if it was a 19, which was good.
That's a good point. Yeah, California. What? Because what is that? Shield mag 16 rounds?
15.
It's 15. This isn't on the roster in California, actually, so you can't even get the 43X there. At least from my understanding right now. It might have changed.
Yeah, I mean, because what is that mag? 10 rounds in the 43X?
Yeah. This is 10. The Shield one is 15, so you get 16 with one chamber.
I mean, I'm fine with 10, but for a carry gun. But, I mean, 12 would even be better. It doesn't have to be like 16.
I mean, the ability to just take your 43X and make it the same capacity as a 19 in the size that it is awesome. That's
hard to argue that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. Enough pimping your gun. Well, no, not quite yet. I do genuinely love it. So, was it a one-time thing? Are you still doing them or no?
This was an exclusive drop at first because I approached my friend Will with that idea. I was like, I have no idea how this is going to sell. Let's just try it out. And he was on board 100%. We built 100 of them. We took pre-orders for him, actually. This was back in like July 7th, I think, is when we launched. And we sold 50 of them in the first 24 hours. And then we sold out like 2 weeks after that. It was about 3 weeks in total, I guess.
Yeah.
But this, I haven't really said this anywhere, but we will still continue to make these because the demand is up there. Like, I get DMs every single day. When's the TS43X coming back? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, if I hadn't gotten one and I saw this now, I would be after you to make me one.
Well, I appreciate that. And so we're gonna work on making more. Right now it's super hard with the pandemic and sourcing ammo, guns, and everything. For people who bought these at the time, like, we were working on this for a while, and then they bought them at like kind of early pandemic where you could still kind of get stuff, and then the election happened.
Oh yeah.
So like, it was insane what the guys at Danger Close Armament did to source all these and to build them in time. But yeah, whoever bought one, they got a fucking killer deal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was surprised when you told me what the cost was.
Yeah.
Well, what's the cost going to be on the new ones? Do you know?
We don't really know yet. We're working on more 43Xs, not in the same package. Like, the first 100 are serialized and they're kind of special in that regard. Yeah. We did hard-sided cases and whatever, like handwritten messages. But we're going to work on some more of these when we can source them, and then we're going to sort of try to expand things into other guns too. So,
other than Glock, or what are you doing?
Nah, I'll probably stick with Glock. So, yeah, Glock versus SIG. I prefer Glock because that's what I've been shooting for the longest time. That's obviously my signature gun now. They're just reliable. It's boring from a normal consumer's perspective, but it fucking works.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. So.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, if any companies are listening, he's probably a way better guy than me. He's got a bigger following than me.
I could think of a company or two that could get
High Point.
Yours.
Yeah, High Point. You want to give me a signature gun?
Ooh, what if you had the pistol and I had the carbine? Because I bought that carbine
Perfect.
from the Kit Badger auction.
Let's talk to High Point. You guys out there?
I'm sensing a Q High Point collab right now.
Yeah.
My
guns.
senses are tingling right now.
That's what we need.
That would be so fun.
A Yeet Cannon 9 for JP.
I
JP
can't
9.
call it that. Yours can
No,
be
well, you
called
got the
that.
carbine.
Yeah, mine's
With an
gonna be
erector on the end of it.
Mine's going to be called erected.
If anyone has a hookup at High Point, send them to
Holla.
send them to us.
Yeah, slide in the DM. Well, I'm going to open another drink. Talon, thank you for the beers. The way life should be. Oh, India Pale. That's a
I like
great
the name. Yeah, I like the name. So
I agree with that. I'm down with that.
What was the name? I didn't see it.
I just fucking said it. The way life should be, where motherfuckers
Literally
listens to the first time.
Oh, you know
say
where
something.
you know what that is homage to?
what is it?
Maine.
Yeah, the great state of Maine, where
Good old
you're
Maine.
from, which is ironic. But
High Point, hit me up.
so you do a lot of knife reviews, or
I do.
No, you do, or you don't, or you just
No,
saying
I still do. Yeah, for sure.
All right. So favorite knife.
Favorite knife maker. Damn, that's hard. So last night we started talking about knives, and you brought out a big old box of knives. You're like, yeah, I got a box of knives upstairs. And Kevin walks down with this box of knives that probably has like fucking $200,000 worth of knives in it.
He kind of told me he was talking about like a bunch of Chris Reeves and all. So I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
like I'm into shit like that, and I have a big knife collection. Who like I like picked out a pick and pluck foam Seahorse rifle case, and I like have all my knives pristine in there, and I carry them and shit and use them. And then he walks downstairs with just a box of like
like a
baller ass knives,
a
and
drawer
I'm
from
like,
a dresser.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
how
like,
I roll.
shit. So, favorite knife maker. I mean, right now in my pocket, I have a Chris Reeves Sebenza 31 now, which is
Beautiful knife.
It's like the pinnacle of pocket knives for the most part.
He is so like he was like an alien. All of his stuff looks perfect. It's
Dude,
great.
I wish I could have met him, man. He like I just really appreciate the engineering that goes into them and the tolerances that they hold.
Attention to detail with him was strong.
Growing up, that
That's
was
insane.
always like when I first started getting into knives. anyone was like, this is a Chris Reeve Sabenza. I'm like, fuck, I need one of those.
I didn't even know the name of it until last night.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, and he's got like 30 of them in a fucking cardboard box. It's like, whatever.
Oh, they come in a cardboard box. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, so like favorite knife maker, I've made friends with a couple knife makers. Like shout out to Lucas Burnley.
I was just about to say Lucas Burnley.
You know Lucas Burnley,
Yeah.
dude? He's a homie.
A lot of like Asian inspired designs and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's
Super
got
cool.
He's got a lot of cool designs, and I went up and shot a video in his new shop. He's up in Bend, Oregon now, because he used to be from the Cape, I think.
I didn't know
He
that.
was out here. Yeah. He was in Massachusetts, I guess. But I went up and shot a video at his new shop. He's super cool. As far as like knife companies go, I'd say ProTech. We were talking about them last night too.
That
Super
Godfather
awesome
or whatever
people.
it was called, it's freaking beautiful. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
they're the best. I mean, hands down, I would say the best automatic knives you can get right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they fire super hard, reliable, sharpened by hand. I met the dude who sharpens them by hand.
Yeah.
Like they're really really nice knives.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a blanket answer.
Yeah,
but-
that's a tough one a lot of times.
Oh, favorite skate company.
Favorite skate company.
Oh man, so you walk downstairs.
You better be right. You better say the right answer.
Can I say Buzz Bombs? Buzz Bomb? Can I say Buzz Bomb?
Buzz Bomb. This skateboard I gave him last time he was up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so dude who owns Buzz Bomb, I guess you've talked with him or you're friends with him or something.
Yeah, so the original guy's from here.
Okay.
So maybe in Maine. But I would see him at Rye Airfield a lot. And he's into guns too. He's in the Army. And he hooked me up a bunch of decks. One I gave you.
G.I.
And he's
Joe
cool.
deck.
Yeah, and then he gave the company or sold it to a fellow in Texas.
Okay.
So they're located out of
They
there.
said a felon in Texas.
Yeah, felon.
Yeah, that's what I thought he
I was
said
like, hell
too.
yeah,
He got
dude.
a felony?
He's a
That's
felon, but
sick.
he could still skate. So, it's like felons for skateboarding.
More serious answer though is like when I used to skateboard, I used to ride like local decks, like was it mini blanks or
I don't know.
I forget what the fuck they were called.
We're not from where you're from, so
True, but like isn't mini like a skate
Well,
company?
Mini Logo. I don't.
Yeah.
Mini
Yeah,
Logo.
Mini Logo, Mini Logo,
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
Powell's like budget brand.
Yeah.
Powell Pearl.
Okay, well then my local shop used to stock them, so I used to ride those Mini Logos, and then shit, dude, I remember like the first skateboard I had was like World Industries from fucking Toys R Us.
Yeah,
Sick,
World Industries.
Flame Boy.
And dude,
Yeah.
yeah, the Flame Boy.
It was
and
my
the one
son's
thing.
first, and he
Really?
still loves it.
And they're cool. Like they got cool graphics and everything.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, they were cool.
Yeah.
That was a cool brand.
not
they created.
super into like the whole actual skateboard world, but that stuff was cool too.
Yeah, World Industry. That's a good call, I think.
Yeah.
What about you, old J boy?
Yeah, you were
Yeah,
pinning me for the
yeah.
question.
question.
Let's
Only
hear
one
it.
answer. What is it?
Baker.
That's it.
It's Baker.
Boring.
Favorite team, favorite company.
Why?
Because Andrew Reynolds is my favorite skater.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
He
Baker.
shreds. I'll give it to you.
But like, there's a bunch of new companies that are really cool, and I mean, growing up, I was just loyal to Baker. But
Yeah.
like Welcome's really
I
cool.
wonder why you were loyal to Baker, you fucking hippie.
But like, Welcome's really cool. Heroin skateboards are really cool.
Heroin?
Heroin.
Heroin's
skateboards. Yeah, you got a
probably
couple
my
Heroin
favorite,
decks.
yeah.
Like newer company, Frog Skateboards is really cool.
Man, I'm not
Yeah.
into it enough to know that.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
we-
you don't have a 17-year-old skater lives in your house. So.
True.
Yeah.
I
Like we do.
the
I guess.
last like popsicle stick deck I bought was a Revive.
That's
Revive
popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm an obviously YouTuber,
Yeah.
so they are
Yeah.
like super hard into it.
Aaron
and
Cairo.
Aaron Cairo for Braille Skateboarding, and yeah, all those guys. I mean, they're from Ohio actually.
Yeah.
Revive is from Ohio.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
Cool dudes.
Yeah, Heroin's probably my favorite right now. Well,
Crazy.
I love
Or
it.
Pete's Pigs. Shout out to my man
Yeah,
Pete
Pete's
down in
Pigs.
Danvers.
Dude, those things are so ridiculous.
I know, they're so
sick.
fun.
It's like skating a fucking boogie board with trucks on it.
Yeah, it's fun. I love it. But Pete, he's cool. Shout out to Pete. All right, so here we go. So this relates to your channel and a lot of your videos. So e-skate or that one wheel.
That's tough. There's a one wheel sitting over here. There's
Yeah.
an
It's
e-skate
behind
over here
you.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. You
Man.
told me to get that a while ago. You were right on.
Yeah, dude, that's such a tough thing because so with the lifestyle that I live, just like traveling all the time, I never know where I'm going to ride a skateboard or whatever. When it comes to an electric skateboard, you got to have great streets. Like, I don't know how it is around here, but you can't ride in like dude, like I used to live in Boston. That's when I first got into electric skateboards, and the roads there are pretty fucking shitty.
Yeah, everywhere in New England, the winter, it's
especially with all the
roads.
cobblestones and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, we still have cobblestones in New England. Yeah.
Dude, you make a right hand turn, you're on a cobblestone
Yeah.
street, and you're like, oh, fuck.
It trips
nuts.
people out that, like, I mean, I grew up in, like, around Portland, and Portland still has a ton of cobblestones. So, like, all the tourists are like, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
why does the street look like
Yeah.
this?
You know why there's cobblestone streets in Boston?
No.
It's because when they were bringing ships over from Europe, they would line the boats with cobblestone to weight the boats properly so that they floated even. And then when they got here, they would just fucking unload them and
Oh,
line
so
the
they said
streets
excess?
with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why a lot of the streets are cobblestone in Boston.
That's cool. I had no idea.
I didn't
about
know that either.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That's just like one reason why.
Well, it sucks
But,
for driving on, so fuck those guys.
And it was like
it's not great.
it's like the drunk test. If you're in Old Port, if you walk out of a bar and you step onto the cobblestones, it's like
You
that's a
fall
level.
over.
Of, see how drunk you are. Like, can you handle it?
Noted.
That makes sense.
So e-skate versus one wheel, because I never know where I'm riding, I'm going to go with the one wheel because obviously it has like a go-kart style tire. You can ride over sand, dirt, rocks,
Yeah,
whatever.
take dirt trails. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just easier to fit into my lifestyle because I never like really plan on riding, but when I do, it's easier to ride a one wheel than it is to ride an
Yeah,
e-skate.
you can ride it a mile into town and get groceries.
Dude, I've ridden mine 18 miles. Like the XR right here, that thing will go 18 miles.
Not with me on it.
your legs hurt afterwards. It's not good.
All right, gun question.
Oh man, that's
EOTech or aim point?
so I'm gonna immediately say aim point,
Wrong.
just because when I'm thinking about the stuff that I own, I would buy like a T2 Micro before I'd buy any kind of EOTech, like holographic, whatever.
Yeah.
What's the big
The EXPS or the XPS? Are you
Is
talking
it the
about
XPS? Yeah, like the competitor.
Yeah, we just had one around here. Are you talking about like? There's a gun over there that's an XPS. The EXPS just has the like
Yeah. Okay, that's
The
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
quick detach lever, or whatever.
Yeah. So I mean, but the EOTech makes the Voodoo, which I'm looking for an optic to like low powered variable optic to put on a mini fix, and the Voodoo looks really good. I don't know your opinions on that.
I like the Voodoo. It's good for a 1 to 6. I haven't gotten one of the 1 to 8s. They used to send me scopes. I don't now.
Okay.
But I think for that, what would you call that? Like a price range or whatever of scopes.
I mean,
it's a good
higher.
choice.
It's not the highest tier, but that's good shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like it. I have at least one on one of my guns. I like it. It's good. I like the Vortex, the 1 to 6, and I got the new 1 to 10. I love it. The Night Force 1 to 8s I love. But, I'm real. For my shooting and stuff, the Swarovski stuff I probably love the best.
Okay. You sent me your mini fix with the Swarovski on it, which was awesome. Super awesome glass.
Yeah, the dot's good.
though.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
It's a little long, but lightweight. And then Leupold, like their Mark 6 is also good in a 1 to 6. Their 1 to 8 is it's a Mark 8. It's ridiculous. It's heavy and dumb. But I like it. It's a good scope, but you can get more for that size and weight.
The Mark IV too on the mini fix up on the wall, which you guys probably can't see, but that thing is fucking cool. I didn't know that was even there, but it's discontinued now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I was
we did
looking
it.
up.
I've got a few of them. We did the reticle with Leupold. They did a 1.5 to 5 power, and I guess that's a Mark IV 30 millimeter.
Mm-hmm.
And it has the reticle that we did for 300 blackout, where it's like a circle with a dot, and then a vertical line, and then hash marks for super with a rabbit on one side, and then hash marks on the other side with a tortoise, and it's for the Barnes 110 and the Remington, probably the 220 grain Sierra ammo.
Okay.
Is what that was set for out of a 9-inch barrel. Yeah, that scope it's good. I like it. But when you do those for specific ammo and barrel lengths, then you're kind of pigeonholing yourself.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
Are your eyes
we got
good?
2 more?
Like, are your eyes good? Like, they don't dots or holographics. They don't like starburst on you.
No, not really. I mean, I shoot red dots a lot just because I'm like used to training that way. So I've been shooting red dots for a while now since I've been into guns, but I can shoot it pretty much anything.
All right, red dot. low powered variable or dot?
We were just talking about that. I'm going to say dot because most of my shooting is like recreational. It's just fun shooting at targets, reviewing guns and stuff like that. I don't necessarily need to shoot 1,000 fucking yards to tell you if a gun is good or not. I'm just like talking about ergonomics and reliability and this and that. So
it's faster, lighter, smaller.
Yeah. But I mean, I have a few like variable optics, but I want to find something specific for the minifix. So
It's a tough one. You know, I go back and forth between a dot on that, and then I put 3 or 4 different low power variables on it, like whatever I have handy at the time.
Yeah.
So if I'm hunting a lot, the Swarovski stays on it. Otherwise, I like that Leupold that's on there a lot. But the little Night Force, the Voodoo, any of them.
It's hard. I mean, when it comes to a minifix too, it's like I want the best optic, but also lightweight. So you're looking at durability and glass, how clear the glass is.
Those Delta Point Pros, I mean, that's what I used on a pig hunt this last weekend, and my gun weighed nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I mean, when it comes to a honey badger, I run an RMR on mine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, same.
Same.
All right.
Ski or snowboard? I'm a ski boarder, so, I'm gonna say ski.
Okay.
So
Caitlin Sei.
So skiing tricks are a lot more technical than snowboard tricks for the most part because you have your feet separated, obviously. So yeah, I'd pick skiing. If I had to pick between the two, I can ski, I can snowboard, but I would be better at skiing, and I just appreciate the technicality of the tricks more than snowboarding.
I think they look cooler too. Like seeing feet crossing all over the place with skis. I'm like, whoa, that dude's doing something.
And like when you got to spin off a rail, you got to gas pedal your skis, so you're like twisting them like that. It just the visual looks kind of crazier. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
That's fair.
Fair
speed
enough.
round.
I mean, if I had pro skis, I would pick it too.
That's true.
High Point, hit me up.
All right. So, all right, we covered your Glock.
Yeah.
All right. So since we last saw one another, you've got Sei Productions. What the heck's that all about?
So Sei Productions is my new like official company for the past, 2.5 years since I quit my full-time IT consulting job. I did YouTube full-time, and I was just kind of like making YouTube videos, getting affiliate money and whatever. So I started an official company to basically be the like umbrella parent company for everything that I'm doing. So Sei Productions encompasses Talon Sei, my main YouTube channel, Sunday Gunday, my second channel. Used to have a podcast, which I'm going to try to bring back once I can get to this level right now.
Yeah, we're up there.
It.
Yeah,
you guys are doing great.
Thank you.
So it's basically like an umbrella company to encompass everything that I do. So once I started it, I just had that general idea, and then I was like, man, this could be something bigger than I was expecting it to be. So I want to try to push it in certain directions to make it to a point where it stands bigger than my own like online presence.
Well, is there anything going on or that you anticipate that you want to talk about that could happen, or like what are you gonna, anything new you're doing anybody doesn't know about that you're willing to talk about?
The main thing is like it started as like this big umbrella company to kind of encompass everything that I'm doing, and then I wanted to start making more merchandise, so like t-shirts, hoodies, hats, like everything that I've been wearing. That's like my entire wardrobe now. We're releasing a flannel like on Monday, so a couple of days from now.
So it looks nice.
Yeah, thank you. So basically, I just wanted to grow Sei Productions, or just Sei for short. It's going to be like a brand. I want it to be more than my own presence.
Just like more than YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what about, speaking of YouTube? So I know some of this, but so you have your own YouTube channel, and then you have Sunday Gunday, which used to be on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's we might have talked.
We did
about
in
that
the last podcast, but
yeah.
you couldn't watch it. So what's the abbreviated version of that?
Yeah, we want to see you talk with your hands about it this time.
Yeah, the abbreviated version is I had everything together on my main channel. I was doing gun reviews. I was doing electric skateboard reviews.
And is this when you decided to quit your actual job?
Yeah, I quit my job before this whole thing happened. So I was probably full-time on YouTube for about a year, and then I had everything mixed together, hence the name Stuff and Things. It was just, I fucking do everything, which is not a good game plan on YouTube. Like, if you want to grow on YouTube, you shouldn't just do whatever the fuck you want.
Should specialize.
You should specialize. You should niche down. You should only do gun stuff. You should only do skateboard stuff. You should only do reviews. You should only do traveling. And I was just like, fuck that, dude. Like, I'm into so many different things. I just want to do whatever I feel like doing.
Yeah.
So because of that, I mean, overall, my growth has been kind of slow. But the gun stuff expedited everything. Because if you like guns, you fucking like guns. And that's all you watch, and that's all you want to see. So because of that, my channel sort of saw like exponential growth for a while there. And then, I mean, summarizing a lot of stuff, YouTube, for some reason, flagged my channel, and they were like, we're going to remove you from our partner program, which is how you make money on YouTube. So we're not going to run any ads on your videos, blah, blah, blah. So I lost tons of views, tons of money for about 6 months until I sort of like ironed everything out. It sounds extreme.
Did they tell you why?
No, they wouldn't tell me. So
Instagram with our main channel a few months ago when they shut it down.
Yeah.
Just no warning, no explanation why. Deactivated our account when we got to 100,000 and told us to fuck off.
And there's been no resolution to that.
No.
Yeah, the resolution was they deactivated the account and told us to fuck off.
Yeah, every time we've reached out to them, it's been like an automated thing that said you can keep trying to like appeal it, but we're not going to put you in touch with anybody.
So
yeah, they're terrible, communist.
Because they're owned by fucking Facebook now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my resolution for my situation was kind of like forced in the direction that I went because YouTube is a public company, or not public. They're a private company. You can do whatever the fuck they want. So if they're like, hey, we don't want any kind of guns featured in any videos on our platform anymore, they could fucking kick everyone off tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So I was like, fuck. YouTube's my full-time thing now. What I need to do is separate my gun stuff from my like normal everyday life stuff, which guns are my everyday average life.
Right.
Like they're just implemented.
Don't tell
in my
YouTube
life.
that.
Yeah, I didn't say that. Is this going on YouTube? So I made Sunday Gun Day as the second channel. I removed 26 million views from my main channel in a like fell swoop. It was about April 1st, and then I re-uploaded all of those videos. Started making more new videos and everything, and that's how it is now today. So
yeah, so that worked, and then you got back in the partner program on Stuff and Things.
Yeah, my main channel got back in the partner program.
But your Sunday Gun Day, you get $0.
A few videos are monetized, but for the most part, whenever I film a new video, I lose money, especially today. Ammo's super expensive. A lot of times I'm buying the guns that I'm reviewing, so it's tough.
But so for the most part, it was demonetized.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Talon. We've had a whole bunch of adventure the last year or so.
Yep.
Sketchiest one.
The sketchiest adventure?
Yeah. With my luck, it involved my woman. I hope it's the same for you.
Death Valley?
I don't know. What happened?
You didn't go to Death Valley.
I did not go to Death Valley. I would not go without being prepared with my woman.
Yeah. So I went to this place called, it was...
That's not what it's called.
It's called
Joshua Tree.
We were in Joshua Tree. We went over to Death Valley. It wasn't Scottsbluff. It was some kind of bluff, Crested Butte or something like that. It was in the middle of Death Valley National Park, and it's gnarly to get there. Like it's like a 4-wheel drive Jeep Land Cruiser type of road, and take the van all the way out there. We passed these like mines on the way there, like abandoned coal. Maybe it's not coal.
I thought he said
mines.
mine.
I was like, oh, I thought he meant mines.
No, mine. Like fucking a mine where they're digging for shit.
All right.
So long story short, we get out there.
So we have some Oompa Loompas digging for stuff.
Oompa Loompas are pulling fucking nerd ropes right out of the rocks like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Like gobstoppers just raining down from the ceiling. It's crazy. And we get out there. I'm already low on fuel when I'm rolling out there. So
why would you be low on fuel there?
Because
I'm no expert like adventurer, but
yeah. So It was really far away from any gas station before we even got into the park.
Wait, you are with your woman?
Yeah, she's with me in the van. For real. So we're driving in.
I feel you, brother. I feel you.
I'm at like maybe half a tank on the way in the morning. I'm like, we'll be fine. Like, we're not going that far. So we drive all the way out to this crested butte. I forget what it's called. And we're there taking photos, videos, and I'm flying the drone.
So we're
around
recording
and
stuff. Yeah, got it.
Yeah,
got
porn.
Recording stuff.
Record porn.
Whoa. Whoa.
Pornhub.com / Talon Sei. No.
Write that down.
I will not be doing that.
So
Go ahead.
we're like, okay, cool. My gas light's on now. So we're like way far in. We're like 25 miles into this middle, like, desolate.
And you didn't realize this until...
No. I knew.
And you didn't decide, like, maybe turn it around.
Yeah, but so I was into a point where, like, we were getting to our original destination, and I'm like, okay, my gas light just came on. I have enough to get back to the last place we got fuel from. So, like, we're good. So we're rolling through, like, middle of nowhere. It's super desolate and everything, and I'm like, okay, I have like a tiny blip of reception from the Weeboo cell signal booster on top of my van.
So you have no fuel, no cell reception.
Like tiny bit.
This always ends well.
Well, he's right. This is how porns or horror movies start right here.
Or were you like a pizza delivery?
Were you stuck to the steering wheel?
So I have this like tiny blip of reception. I'm like, shit, okay, we can go out this like back way over into like Cerro Gordo area, which is like an old mining town in Eastern California. Super cool area. And I didn't realize what the trail would be like. So we started going this direction, and it gets rockier and rockier. And I have this new suspension package on the van, so I'm like testing it out and everything. And we get to this one section, which is like big, probably like 1.5 foot rocks, like big rocks, which you could stack up and move around if you need to get through something. But there's a boulder on my right, which is I mean, the thing probably had to weigh like couple tons. And then on my left, there's another one, which is a little bit smaller, and I couldn't fit the van through it. Like, if I would have tried to squeeze through, I would have ripped my side ladder off. I would have fucked up my exhaust. It just wouldn't fit. It wouldn't happen. The van probably could have made it like 4-wheel drive capable and everything. So I was like, shit, all right, we got to turn around. Granted, my girlfriend doesn't know much about off-roading. Neither do I. I'm not a 4-wheel drive expert. I'm just like, okay, like I
just a guy with a 4-wheel drive in the middle of nowhere with gas, no reception.
Yeah, no reception, no nothing. No, but I mean, I've done it enough to know like what is capable and what is not.
I'm sure that made your woman's father feel way better about this.
Yeah, he won't listen to this, so okay, that's good. All right. So I was filming this entire thing, by the way. This is on my YouTube channel.
Of course.
So we turned around, and I'm going back the same direction that we came up. That was already sketchy to get to the point where we couldn't make it through anymore, and it gets sketchier in the opposite direction.
So we're just basically dealing with levels of sketchiness.
Yeah, so it just like, instead of being sketchy going up, now it's sketchy going down because you're going off of big drops. I'm smashing the fucking undercarriage of the van and everything, and we're trying to get out of there. And I'm like, all right, take the camera, go out and film this, talking to Ashley, my girlfriend. And I'm like, go, like, give me an angle because it's like super rocky. It's gnarly through here. It doesn't look crazy on video, but I'm like, direct me through this because I know this is going to be kind of gnarly. And the van weighs like 9,000 pounds. It's fucking heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy.
And I have
that's like a Suburban and a half.
Yeah, at least. So long story short, I'm trying to go through this thing. The wheels start spinning. I get stuck. Try to power out of it. Get even more stuck.
Can we pause?
Yeah.
So your girlfriend's name's Ashley?
Mm-hmm.
What's she saying? Or what are the noises she's making?
Well, she's like 20 yards in front of me.
Oh, good.
Holding the camera.
Okay, well,
I was good. Like, go film this. So, because I knew it was going to be gnarly. So
and
I'm like,
she's like, I'll film you being an idiot.
Yeah, but she ain't giving me directions because, like I said, I'm not no off-road expert, but she hasn't done it at all in her life. So she can't be like, you should go a little bit to the right.
Well,
because there's
what I'm hearing is she follows direction. Go film this. Bam. That's her job.
It's not like that, though. I'm not like forcing her to do anything.
Sure.
Anyway, she's out there filming. The van gets fucking planted in this like silt, like super fine silt. I pulled the max tracks off the roof. I'm trying to get unstuck. And what happened was in the front of my passenger side right tire, there was probably like a 3-foot rock that I couldn't see because it was covered by brush, like tumbleweeds and shit. And we were there for an hour and a half, like trying everything, like rocking the van back and forth. I was like emptying out my water so the van would be a little bit lighter and everything. No reception. The only thing I have is a ham radio, which I could have like called someone for help or whatever, and my mountain bike. So I could have like ridden into the nearest town. But to recover a 9,000-pound van out of the middle of Death Valley, like, you're kind of fucked. You're paying a ton of money to get that thing out of there. Basically, I just needed like a Jeep or something to come through with a winch to kind of like pull me out.
You needed Jesus.
I needed Jesus, Lord and Savior, to come down and just fucking pick the sat van up and just like scoot it to the left a little bit. So what I ended up doing was I did this like super gnarly winch pull. I had a steel cable line at the time, and I like pulled the thing out probably like 100 yards, and I wrapped it around one of the boulders that would have like scraped the shit out of my van. So off to the right on my way up, I wrapped it around the van or around the rock, and then I connected it back to one of my winch points on the van and pulled the van probably like 1.5 feet to the left, like complete side pull. If this is the front winch of the van, like the front bumper, I was pulling from like back there, like over my left shoulder.
Yeah.
And it just fucking goes and like scooted it off the rock. And luckily I was able to get out. The whole time wasn't filming a whole lot for the channel because I was like, oh fuck, like we're going to be stuck here. I have water, I have food in the van, which is fine. We'll be able to live. We're not going to die. But like we're fucked.
Yeah.
And then once the van was gone, like, so I was like throwing shit around. I was like throwing my max tracks. I'm like, fuck, just like kind of like pissed off trying to get out of there. And then as soon as we got unstuck, I was like, oh shit, that was fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I love this van.
And Ashley gets back in the van. She's like, oh yeah, that was so great. Yeah, I can't wait to do that again.
Why were you yelling at me the whole time?
Yeah. I mean, I was good at
Oh God, I've been in those situations.
You can't direct your anger at your significant other, but the whole time I was like, fuck.
Oh, you're a pussy.
Man.
You sure can.
No, you can't do that. That's rude. That's rude.
Yeah, like last year, Ivana and I were off-roading my farm in Georgia, and it's in the mountains, and we went and just got stuck unexpectedly, and I don't know, we walked probably 5 miles. She was so cool about it, and I was mad at her for not being angry at me. And then of course, like we end up hitchhiking. This guy picks us up, and it's in a truck, and he's got a dog sitting next to him, and then Ivana's sitting there, and I'm sitting next to the door, and so I'm like, hey, and basically he knew who I was. He's like, basically you're like the city idiot, the rich guy that bought a place up here, and taking me to my buddy's place, and he's like, yeah, I heard about you before I went to prison, and he's like, and it's pretty funny because he's like, yeah, I just got out yesterday, and she scoots all the way over into my lap at this point and everything.
How was it? Did you ask him how his stay was?
He said it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was his 7th stay.
Oh, good.
7th.
So he knew everyone.
And, so it's funny. We pull up to my buddy's house, who we were supposed to be back like an hour and a half before that. Mm-hmm. And we pull up, and Chad and Sabrina sitting in the rocker there, the swing on the porch. We pull up, and this is like the known criminal in the area that we live. Like
the guy that you're with.
Yeah.
The prison.
The guy that gave us the ride.
They're like,
and Chad starts dying laughing, falls on the floor laughing, and I give the guy $100, and we go. But so yeah, we all been in those situations.
And got some heroin with it or some shit.
Probably did. I hope he did. Hope he had a good time.
Hope he's doing well.
Good for him.
So, I mean, those times, it seems to happen to me more than most people.
You should get him on the podcast.
Oh, no.
Prison Joe?
I don't even remember his name. Chad knew him, though. Like, Chad grew up with him. He's been like a crackhead since he was like 4th grade.
Get him on. I'll talk to him.
Been cooking meth like his whole life.
Nothing wrong with that.
Good for him.
Anyway, he was nice. He's the first person pulled over, offered us a ride, didn't ask for anything. Gave him $100. He tried to decline it, and I was like, I insist because I was thinking in my mind, I don't want you coming back for a favor. All right. Well, man, where do you see that? So you quit. You're like, bullshit on this real job stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, I ain't about that life.
I don't blame you. That job sounds boring.
Yeah,
I know.
IT.
It's bad.
I know. Imagine you. They'd make you like wear a man bun or something.
Probably, and wear my glasses instead of my contacts all the time.
Oh,
lame.
Sounds gross.
I got IT.
So, well, where's this going? Like, where is Sei production or Talon Sei in 5 years, 10 years? Like, where's this end up, man?
I mean, I would love to make YouTube videos until the day I fucking die.
Real? So that's like, you love it.
I truly love making videos. I mean,
that's awesome.
I made videos before YouTube was a thing. I would carry around a camcorder and just like film shit.
Old school.
Yeah. I mean, this was in like early 90s, but
when I see like Casey Neistat videos, like it's obvious he likes to make videos.
Yeah, and I have super old footage, like stuff similar to that. I mean, granted, he's a lot older than I am, but I have footage like that, which was never saved anywhere because I was just a fucking dumb kid. I would just like film on literally like, not VHS, but like whatever the smaller cassettes were at the time. And I would just film stuff just to watch it back, and it was cool.
You know, it's so funny. I talked about this in our last podcast, so to interrupt you and divert it back to me because I'm important.
Yeah, super. I mean, this is your podcast.
So yeah. So, you know, I talked about it last time. It's like you never know what's going to be, like, what's the future? Is this going to be important?
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's like you had a passion for the videoing and all that. And it's like for me with firearms, for 10 years, like I had a ranch. And we shot machine guns and belt feds, me and a few buddies, every weekend. Yeah, right here.
This right here. Fucking
So
beautiful.
every weekend, my garage was filled with pallets of ammo. We never recorded. We never took pictures. And when Tannerite became a thing and we started blowing stuff up, but like Demolition Ranch, your buddy Matt, like we were doing that shit on our own, blowing up toilets, hot water heaters, refrigerators, cars, anything. Every weekend for years and probably a decade, never took a single fucking picture. Like, we just didn't care. It was like we just loved shooting and blowing shit up.
Yeah.
And we did it. And what's so funny is now, like, oh my God, if I'd recorded all that, I'd be like, I could get wealthy off YouTube.
Yeah.
And like we were doing it then just because it's the shit we love to do. So you never know. Looking back at it now, and people will see, like, you saw some of my gun collection, you're like, what the fuck? And
Why
it's
do
like,
you even have this?
Like, I've probably sold 2/3 of it. Like, I don't even care anymore. It's like, this is just the stuff that I've got.
Yeah.
But I mean, you never know. You don't ever know. So, like, beating yourself up about it, but, you know, getting in the practice and doing the stuff, and now you got something that provides you with a living that you like to do.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I would totally love to make YouTube videos forever. I mean, if I could do it forever, I don't think it's actually going to be a thing, say, like 10 years from now.
You don't?
Why
not?
I just feel like technology is changing so much. I mean, you see new platforms coming up like fucking TikTok, which come out of nowhere and are completely changing that entire like marketing space.
But that's just people.
It is
it's
people.
The same thing.
Yeah, but I feel like with the negative influence of a lot of like big corporations like Facebook and like censorship and all that shit.
It's so sad. And like coming from the left, which I was very leftist when I was young. I was just ignorant, didn't know anything.
Oh, fucking lefty Kevin, man.
I know.
He is a lefty too.
I was ignorant, didn't know.
Still seems that way.
I mean, you know, I didn't grow up with guns and stuff. I didn't understand. But I mean, it is ironic that that's who is like... You know,
those are the people who are fucking pushing their thumb down on us. Like, fuck.
Yeah, they're the ones that are, you know, just like ex parte free speech. Fuck you out the window because you don't agree with me. Mm-hmm. You know, like I've said it in the past. Like you know, I've got 3 kids that are in high school and dealing with them all the time, talking to them about like real life stuff. And it's weird to them because they grew up in social media, which I didn't. And so to them, all their like they give no shits about me or not me, but my work or anything that I'm doing or social media. Like they probably all don't even follow me on Instagram or anything.
Damn.
But
that's tough. Dude.
I mean, I think it's like
I get it.
Probably the journey of like all parents, no matter how cool you are, not to your kids.
Yeah.
But all of like their little friends that play Call of Duty and shit, like they know who I am, and the honey badger 300 blackout.
They're using your guns in the video game.
So I'm like the biggest hero dad there is. Yeah. But to my kids, they're like, he's such a dork. He wears like Star Wars pajamas. It's like
he can't even grow hair.
No, I know exactly. Like I mean, they're cool, and like my youngest daughter now, who has actually had some. You said TikTok. She's had so Ryan's had some. I don't know how old she is. 14 maybe 13, 14.
Cut that out.
So, I don't know. I mean, like
15.
It's like once you get to an 8. Yeah, probably 15. She's about
Aiden's
17.
16,
She's about to turn 15 and reach 16. So yeah, so they're all.
Just knew that.
Well, you're saying
let me tell you something.
Are each a year apart.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. So okay, I've had custody of them for 10 years.
I know that,
and they were very young, and I never anticipated on being like I was their dad and full time dad, but
Mr. Mom.
Yeah, but never anticipated like cooking breakfast, taking them to school every morning. Like I do everything for them. So then you just like lose track. Like I don't know.
You cook a good breakfast.
I know.
I had that this morning.
Thank you.
Did you make you the fucking sandwich?
Yeah, we had breakfast Sammy's this morning.
That was good.
But they, it's like a month ago. Ryan said something to me. I thought I was 43. I'm 47. Like I don't know. But with her, she had a couple TikTok videos go viral to like 1 million views each. And so like she was super stoked. I'm like, does that mean we're getting paid? To me, I'm like, we're getting any money from that? She's like,
getting money from that.
And I'm like,
send me that check.
Yeah. But for them, it's like they don't, and they've always been shooting because we've always had a ranch since they were born, and hunting and stuff, and they do all those things with me, and they're fine with it and they enjoy it, but like they don't care. But for them, which is interesting to me because for them it's like a way of life. Like if I go in there and tell Ryan she can't post a TikTok video for a month, like she will like straight up fist fight me.
That's what I do, Dad.
I know.
You don't understand. You'll never get it.
But I don't know.
TikTok.
When you say it's not going to exist, I don't know, because like now for me being 47, which I'm not really old, I'm like in the middle, and it's like everything I knew. Like you and I today went to the store and we got like a new coffee maker, and like I come home and I look at the instructions and I was within 2 seconds of looking up a YouTube video. That's how I learn everything now.
So I'm not saying that YouTube's not going to exist, but if I'm planning for the future, I'm not going to put my money in the YouTube is going to be their basket. Just based off of like what I've gone through already. They have screwed me for the longest time after me having to remove my gun content from my channel. So like that was it was an eye opener. I was like, fuck. I was making money doing what I love and everyone else was loving this. So I have to find the next thing that will continue to sustain this life that I've signed up for now.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Just
so whatever platform.
Yeah. So I would love to make YouTube videos forever, but going forward, if I had to do anything else, it would be working on Sei as a brand. I want people to look at Sei or Sei Productions and be like, oh yeah, that's cool. They make a lot of really cool like outerwear and clothing, but I don't know Talon Sei. I want people to see Sei as a brand and not know me, because that would be so fucking cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Like you look at
so weird.
You look at Vans. Who's the creator of Vans?
Steve Van Dorn.
Okay. I was gonna say Van Dorn.
Okay, well I don't fucking know Steve. So you look at Billabong. Who's the owner of Billabong?
Don't know.
Okay, that's a better example. So that's what I'm saying. Like I want to grow something bigger than myself on social media, and I want something.
It's full circle now
that I love to do.
I have a company. I develop products. I'm not like a social media personality. Like I have an actual company that develops products, and I want to use this to promote my company. And here you are. It like the economy like the opposite. Like you become a YouTube personality and you want to develop a brand and a product out of it.
Yeah, but at the same time, like you have Q, and there are a lot of people who know about the honey badger, but they don't know Kevin Brittingham.
That's true.
And So that's kind of the level that I want to be at. Like I want to have a company stand alone. I want Sei to be a brand that people can associate with in any way, shape, or form without knowing me.
Are you wanting to do silencer books?
Sure, sign me up.
Fuck this guy.
I'm gonna send you a sponsor me tape, and I don't know what I'm gonna do in it, but I'm gonna send it to you.
What are you gonna do?
Do you want to do bourbon?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Okay,
Dude.
we're competing. No
Love
one
Mr. Bourbon.
follow. If you follow Talon Sei or Talon Sei,
So-
Salentai.
Salentai.
yeah,
If you love-
unsubscribe. Do not like any videos.
Kevin, if you love bourbon so much, drink some of your
Yeah,
bourbon
drink
right
some of
now.
that bourbon.
Drink some of your bourbon right now.
No, this is
This is
$1,000 an ounce Angel of Tears bourbon. It's not to be drinking.
This is Honey Badger bourbon, and he won't drink it because it's
No.
too good.
Yeah, it
That's
is
right.
too good. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me drunk and beautiful.
All right. That's the type of person Kevin Birmingham is, everybody.
Yeah, I am
Look
what
at
I
him.
am.